And on top right, please, this inequalities. And the little subsection is solving and graphing. Solving and graphing. Let's start with this. Wake up, crowd. We've done this before, please say yes. X is greater than or equal to 3, and we graph that, yes or no on number lines? What? Are you kidding me?
We're not kidding.
Huh? There's no possible way we've never done this before. Alright, so let's say I said this. If x is greater than or equal to 3, what could be your answers? Any number greater than or equal to 3, right?
Yeah.
So there's no, the only way to show this visually is to do a number line. Show me what that is.
Yeah.
The only way to show this is to draw a number line. Okay, and you know how number lines usually go like this. They go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go on forever. Okay, if I were showing this on a number line, I would darken in every answer that is true for this. Well, it's going to start at 3. So put a little circle at 3. And then I darken in the side, whichever way it goes. Are you sure we've never done this? I'm going to look. Okay, I darken it because it's all the numbers that are bigger than 3. This little big old arrow means that this number line goes on forever that way, and everything there is an answer. Okay, now, can 3 be an answer? Is 3 greater than or equal to 3? Yes, it is. If you see the equal sign there, this little circle has to be colored in. If it was this, and it just said x is greater than 3, the graph will look the same exact way, except at 3, it's an open circle, not colored in, because an open circle tells you it starts at 3 but doesn't include 3. Because if I said, is 3.1 an answer to this? Is 3.1 greater than 3?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Is 3.000001 an answer? Yes, it is. This circle says, okay, it starts right at 3, but doesn't include 3. So anything even a little teeny speck bigger than 3 is going to be true. These are exactly the same, except one is equal to and one is not equal to. And a good way to tell if you're doing it right is, see this? It's going to be the same as this. If I did a less than problem, let's say y is less than or equal to -2. When you graph it at -2, is it going to be an open circle or a closed circle? It would be closed because it's equal to. And it's less than, it goes this way, the number line smaller than. And see how the inequality sign and less than is the same as that thing there. I'm sure we did this before. Maybe not. Please understand, children, this is the bare minimum that you can have to show me that graph. Sometimes I have kids just do this without any starting number or whatever. That won't work. You gotta have at least that. You don't have to have all of these numbers here, but you have to have at least whatever number that thing is there. Are you sure we've never done this before?
Yes.
Okay. There's nothing. Because unfortunately that's not all there is. Let me do a couple more and then we'll talk a little bit more. How about this? What would the graph of x is less than 12 look like? You should be done with it by the way right now. X is less than 12. You're going to have a 12 here, correct? Open or closed circle above it? Open because it's not equal. Which side am I going to shade? What side of the number line are the numbers getting smaller, Alex? Left. So this will give. And you definitely need to darken in your line and your arrow. Technically, there is a small arrow there that just means the number line goes that way, not the answers. You should darken in your arrow and your line like this. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay, now, on to the hard stuff. You can have inequalities that are like equations. But we can't call them equations because that's an oxymoron. Inequalities, by definition, mean things that aren't equal. Equations mean things that are equal. But they look and they are solved the same. For example, write down this for example. If you have 2x minus 5 is less than or equal to 3. Please get this in your head. You solve this just like it was an equation. In other words, you do the exact same thing for that you would do as if it said 2x minus 5 equals 3. Same exact steps. You're just trying to solve for x. I want to know what x is less than or equal to. So what would I do in this case? First thing I do in equations is Kayleen, add 5 to both sides to get rid of it. I want the x by itself, so I do the opposite and I add 5. So now I'm left with 2x is less than or equal to 8, correct? And then the last thing I'm going to do, Kabran, is, well, how do I do that? How do I get rid of this 2 in front of the x? Opposite of this is, Maggie? Right. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X is now by itself. You still have the less than or equal to sign there. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then once you get it to this point, you need to graph it because it'll say solve and graph. So here at 4, it's a closed or open circle? Closed, because it's equal to. The little sign says it's all the numbers less than that, so here on this side, you color in the less than sign. Sometimes there's bonus points for pretty arrows. Sometimes people make them do stuff like that. I can tell that you are, oh no, why did you do this to me? I'm not going there. Do this, solve this one for me. 6x plus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 5. 6x, I say plus 1, is greater than or equal to negative 5. See what you get for an answer to that. See what you get for an answer to that. Should be done-ish. These aren't very difficult or should didn't take very long. First step is to do what, Cameron Atkins? Nope. You gotta solve this first. Number line's last. This was an equation. What would be the first thing? I want to get x by itself, so I need to. Not the first thing I do. These are all the same equations. We've done them forever. Grace Watson? Right. I want this to get rid of this, so I do the opposite and subtract 1 from both sides. I'm left with my 6x, still have my greater than or equal to. Here's where you gotta be careful, -5 and a -1. -5 minus a -1 is, Claire? Not multiplying, the answer's not positive.
-4.
No, you put two negatives together, you get a bigger negative,
-6.
-6. Now how do I split up the little x with the 6? Taylor? Divide both sides by 6, so x is greater than or equal to, what is -6 divided by 6? Brooke? -1. Once it's solved, then graphing it at -1 closed or open? Closed because it's equal. And on what side is the arrow going? It's going to the numbers that are bigger than that, so I color in this side over here. And I end up with that. That would be my answer to that problem. Stop me there, ask me questions, say why is this, why is that? No? How about this? What is the answer to 2x times 2x? David?
4x squared.
4x squared. What is the answer to 2x plus 2x? Julia?
4x.
Just 4x. If you combine this, 6x minus 8x plus 13 minus 8, I asked you to simplify that. What would you get? You don't have to write this down. This is a review. You just have trouble with adding my terms. What do you get for that? Ryan? You're not snowballing, are you?
-2x
Yep, and what for the number?
plus 5.
Correct. 6x's minus 8x's puts you in the whole 2x's, and 13 minus 8 is 5. How about this? One last one. What if I had 3x minus 4x plus 5x minus 8 minus 15? I say 5x, and I put the x there. What is 3x minus 4x plus 5x? Minus 8 minus 15. Who's got a shot at this? Landon says, what's my x total? Thank you very much. What's my number total? Combining two negatives number gives you a bigger negative than you started with. That's going to be -23. Now, how about this? What is 3x times 4x times 5x? I'm multiplying them together, what do I get there? This is stated there. Alex?
60x cubed.
Correct. Multiply the numbers together, 20 times 3 is 60, x times x is x cubed. Okay. Exponents don't change, they do change when you multiply.